is here. You know, finally, you know, it's around that, you know, that cage. Anyway, ain't got really too many matches, but you think about it, the 2 War Game matches going to take up so much time that, hey, plus what other really matches, you know, the women's titles in one of them, and oh wait, both of them is in there, so there's not gonna really be too many other women's matches in there. Whatever, hey, it's fine. But anyway, let's dive in. Let's go with whole head and just knock this one out the park. Of LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura. To me, it's LA Knight. I don't think they've done anything with Shinsuke to warrant, really, to be honest, this match. Like, I seen it come up in the graphic for Survivor Series, and I was like, really? Like, there's only been 2 interactions, and it's really just been 2 blindside, like, you know, blows for him, and I'm like, that warrants a, like, I just, really, to be honest, I'm like, LA Knight shouldn't have a match, like, just not give him a match, to be honest. I would have rather they have had, like, Motor City Machine Guns and pick whoever, DIY, Street Profits. I was like, Angel Garza and Humberto. I was like, you could have put them in here, and I think that would have been just as fine. Hell, you could have put the Judgment Day that had a match with the War Raiders on this one, and you could add all of Judgment Day on the card. That way, Liv is there, and you could have some shenanigans of, like, Dom. I mean, he could probably do it anyway, but Dom comes out there or whatever. That might probably gonna be my take later on. Or Damien Priest is there fighting Gunther, and it will just have a more of a reason that's like, oh, they're in the building. You don't never know what can happen. Something might happen like last time. But there was no reason for this match. There's been one vignette, and that's it. There's nothing to warrant this match, which makes you think that LA Knight is going to win this match because you haven't done anything for Shinsuke, who always comes out looking cool, always got cool shit going, and it's just like, nah, he just there because we needed something to fill this time. And I was like, you could have did anything else with this time. Could have put, like I said, the tag team. Like, I know you got 2 multi-man and multi-women matches, but you could have did a tag team. Come on now. Anyway, now that I would like nip that one out the way. An interesting one is Bron Breakker, Ludwig Kiser, and Shemus. Now, who I think should probably win, I think Ludwig Kiser should win it, just because I was like, I don't think Bron has really held it this time as long or whatever. He hadn't really had long, like, times of holding the title after that first one where he beat Sami. But I was like, after this one with Jay, the reason I was like, you can't really do the Sheamus one is because Sheamus is too close to the other ones where it's like, I'm a veteran in this game, you a youngster, I'm gonna beat you, you gotta learn how to fight, and you learn how to fight. It's too much on the nose with it, whereas it should be Sheamus finally getting the Intercontinental Championship. That should be actually the premise of whenever if he is going to get it. So, with that being said, I was like, you can still sort of do something similar, except for you can give it to Ludwig Kiser. And the reason I say that is, Gunther basically got up in his face and was like, hey, you gotta do better, you gotta take opportunities, you gotta, we gotta be better. And you got Gunther right here being a little shell-shocked right now. I was like, Ludwig Kiser could take over the reins of being like, you know what, we're right. This is Imperium. We're going to get a championship. It's a triple threat match. It doesn't hurt Bron in any way. It still holds. I was like, Sheamus is fine. He's a legend. He knows that the wins doesn't matter like that. To where I was like, but Bron can lose it where like he pins Sheamus, which also sort of can tie up that little bit of that rivalry or enhance it at the same time without Bron looking like it's just like, damn, he was on the outside during all of it happened or whatever like that. I was like, it's fine. I was like, it's triple threat. You can get away with it. But I think Bron is going to get it just because I was like, it just makes him just keep looking strong by basically being 2 people. Although I just think that sort of dies out his opponents and this little rivalry tiff or whatever. Like I said before in my last video, that I'm like, this has been a thing with them for a while. I was like, WWE just haven't been harping on it as much. But I was like, if Bron wins, then I'm like, then it's like, you done beat Sheamus, he done beat Kiser, what's the move to the next thing? Where I'm like, if Ludwig Kiser wins, Bron can still stay in here, Sheamus can still stay in here, we could just keep this thing going. But I'm going to say I think Bron gets it, but I think Ludwig Kiser should win it, or whatever like that. Now, Gunther and Priest, a weird one, just because Gunther didn't get his lick back at all, really at Priest in any moment, really. I was like, maybe like 5 seconds compared to like Priest is like, 10 minutes, whatever. I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers. But there's really nothing here to say that, if you looking at this, there's really nothing to say that Gunther really should win or whatever, that Priest should win this. And I would like it if Priest wins this, because I was like, Gunther can always win it back. It's just Gunther. They could fuel him. They could make him more mad. They could re-energize his mind. I would like get him more focused. All the things that, like how he lost to Sami and whatnot, that it can just do all that type of stuff and him just go on a rampage again. And I was like, listen, I think to be honest, I think you sort of need it, just because Gunther doesn't really have any real, outside of maybe CM Punk right now, he doesn't really have anybody that's in his wheelhouse of beating him for the title. Whereas if he loses, Damien Priest still got another crop. He still got like Seth Rollins and whatnot. Gunther might have Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins as well too. I forgot about them. But I like Seth Rollins. Damien Priest will have more people that I feel like he could. Whereas like Gunther had really ran through a lot of Raw roster just because he was Intercontinental Champion. But with this, it just makes him a little bit more vulnerable. He can always get it back at main event, which they're going to Saturday night main event, where they're going to play it like that, or Royal Rumble, which is going to be a whole thing as well too. Because you can even have it be a thing where it's like he can't be in the Rumble, so he has no choice but to win. Now to give Damien Priest another solid couple months of runs and whatnot, and then Gunther can go into WrestleMania as the champ, and there's more storyline. Maybe you should heat up this Judgment Day thing or back again, who knows. But I think Gunther's going to win, and I think it's going to be something where he barely gets the win, and since he got past that, he's still just like I got to train, and I got to refocus my mind or whatever. I don't know what accent that really was, but yeah, I was like, I hope Priest win. I think Gunther's gonna ease a win out. All right, so the women's War Game match. I was like, the funny thing is that I think both men's matches could have something that will throw a wrench in it. So I was like, I said so far that I was like, it looks like it's going to be Bayley that's probably going to be in that spot. Now the question is, do they figure out who attacked Jade during like the Survivor Series thing beforehand? What happened? Cause I'm like, it would be something crazy that if like during the match Jade comes out or something like that, or they show on the screen Bayley doing the attacking or something like that, and causes a rift within the War Games match. But if you ask me on this who will win this, I was like, Rhea's going to win it. She's going to win it. I think Team Liv should win it. But I was like, but there's no way they can maintain this rivalry, this feud, if Rhea doesn't basically get a win on Liv, basically being like, see, I still in a title shot, or I still am in, or whatever. Whereas like I don't really see Nia getting pinned unless they do like some like everybody on top of her type of thing, which I think they might actually do, but she would just like Hulk out of it. Yeah, I was like, I think Team Liv should win, but I think that but you look at the participants that's in the game, unless something crazy like the Bayley thing happened or return or something, it's going to be Bianca, Io, Rhea, Naomi, Bayley. They just got, I was like, compared to what? Tiffany and Candace and Raquel, and I was like, no, that's just not the same type of firepower or whatever. It'd be a fun match, but I was like, it's going to be Team Rhea or whatever it's going to be called, as Bianca said. Now, the Bloodline stuff, anything's up for grabs compared to the women's match. I was like, that one is sort of formulaic in a way. I was like, I don't think there's anybody turning or anything like that, and except for Bayley, in a way that's like, that's the only intriguing thing. And I was like, they might say that for something after where they'd be like, oh, Bayley helped us win, blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, woo. And then on SmackDown is when that comes or whatever. So it could be something leading on or whatever. That way it's not too convoluted. With the men's, however, you got something where people are talking about CM Punk like betrayal or whatever with the Paul Heyman thing, which I mean, I could see, don't get me wrong, I was like, CM Punk doesn't need Paul Heyman, but Paul Heyman could. I was like, but I don't really see him screwing OG Bloodline just because it's like, well, New Bloodline threw his ass through a table, whereas like Roman just didn't call him. I don't really see that there. I was like, the betrayal of like something like CM Punk to set up some Roman Reigns stuff. I like, you could do that by itself. CM Punk is prickly enough, and Roman Reigns is like, I'm the tribal chief. I don't give a damn. They did all the work. I was like, you can have them all dysfunctionally break down just because they have been so rushed. They've all been in this spot to where like, and CM Punk really doesn't have any type of the kinship that they do, at least where like they're bigger and stuff like that. And CM Punk like I don't care. Like, we need to win this match. Bronson Reed could be a whole different factor with this, with him and Jacob Fatu going crazy in the ring and just being monsters. I would like for the New Bloodline to win, just because I think from here on out is really going to be Roman Reigns and their bloodline in some form, basically winning throughout pretty much WrestleMania or whatever like that. But I think the New Bloodline need to get these wins now so they can seem like a threat, so that when it comes time where we get close to WrestleMania or any of these Royal Rumbles, all this other stuff, that they at least have a little legitimacy in order to be something. Whereas if they, Roman wins now, and I was like, yeah, that could set up something of like the Ula Fala, because that was the whole thing. Then I was like, Roman's going to win that. Then what? Then after that, they're going to be chumps. So I was like, you got to sort of start building up their wins now to me. But I think OG Bloodline will win it just so that Roman can have the match against against Solo for the Ula Fala at some point or whatever, just because of like so many things are still in the air, whether it's The Rock, Cody, all these things are so much in the air that you sort of got to make sure that all you can walk whatever trail you need to. So it's like the Ula Fala with Solo. Maybe that happens at like Saturday Night Main Event. Maybe that happens, something like that. Maybe they got to save it for WrestleMania just because maybe something happened else. So you at least, so it's like it's something in the back pocket. It's on the back pocket. But I was like, to me, I was like, I know that they won the 6-man tag from Beyond, but I was like, but they lost the tag team match with Cody and Roman. So that's why I said like build them something up in order to keep it going or whatever like that, and keep Bronson Reed. I think they should keep Bronson Reed. I think with him, the group that looks really formidable. And I was like, and this sort of have the OG Bloodline sort of still have their little issues, their problems. CM Punk's not going to stay and stick around with them, so it's always still going to be 4 on 5 or whatever like that. I don't know, but I was like, I think they could do some interesting things with a lot of these matches and stuff like that. But I think we're going to go to a predictable slate of wins, which, like I said, predictability is not bad or whatever. It's a story that you tell in there. But I think a couple of the swerves can create even more interesting story than just going with the regular status quo of we're doing our formulating play, especially because we're not close to WrestleMania. You don't need to have all your shit going in the right direction. You can have some wonky stuff going here and always pivot back because you already know how it's sort of going to try to end or whatever like that. It's sort of easy to know how to write the story when you already know how it finished, kind of thing. But anyway, that's all the predictions that I think. I was like, I got the one that I wanted to happen, but I told you basically what I think probably will happen. So anyway, good with that. But anyway, all day, every day, no problem. We got this. Till then, peace. I'm out. War Games. And happy Thanksgiving to all, and to all a good night. I think that's how it goes.